This is something never seen in the World Rally Championship before. Round 8 of the WRC is a step into the unknown. This is Rally Poland.
It's fast, flowing over the crests.
At some places you are going faster than in Finland, for sure.
But the differences here is that they are softer, the roads are softer, not that many jumps as in Finland.
It's fast and narrow, sometimes in the forest, so you have some high grass on the side and you don't see the road.
When we are going through the stage the second time through, I'm sure there's going to be really deep ruts from start to finish.
Ruts like this.
You need to just concentrate really a lot to keep the car in the ruts.
So when you're driving straight line, it's wheel spinning, you know, because it's on the some cars. Oh.
Last time out in Greece, the 2009 championship was blown wide open. The biggest crash of Sebastian Loeb's career and 0 points for the world champion leaves the championship door wide open for Mikko Hirvonen and Ford, who went on to win the rally.
Before Greece, I knew if I lose 10 points, I will still be leading. I'm still leading, and but now it's a bit different, so it's important to finish.
Before Greece, I was so far behind, and I thought that we don't have any chance. Suddenly it happened, so we are back in the game. If I do well enough myself, it's still possible to catch him by driving, so I'm definitely going to be on the case now.
Despite a first day scare for Jari-Matti Latvala in Greece, an incredible fight back saw him finish third, and once again he should be in the mix here in Poland. So in the championship, that unusual no score for Loeb sees just 7 points split the top two. Latvala's performance means he leapfrogs the Solberg brothers to fourth and takes a step closer to Sordo. The second consecutive 18-point maximum for Ford has allowed the Blue Oval to close up to just 15 points behind early pace setter Citroën. Coming up, Mikko Hirvonen takes us through what we can expect from these brand new Polish stages.
When you come to the open fields, stages can be really fast and wide, and it's a little bit easier over there where there's more room to take the line.
On nearly every occasion Sebastian Loeb has crashed, it's been in a new section of stage with new notes. We asked the world champion if this is the chink in his seemingly bulletproof armour. And after a tricky start to the season, the Citroën Junior team got their best ever result in Greece. We investigate their newfound form. And of course, we'll be giving you the best ringside seats to all the drama and action this weekend. The All-in Platinum 66th Rally Poland is based in the picturesque Polish Lake District, 177 kilometers north of the capital city, Warsaw. The town of Mikołajki hosts the service park and super special stage with the 352 competitive kilometers of stages all run to the east. So, what do we know about Rally Poland? It's the second oldest event in the world, first run in 1921. It was a qualifying event in the inaugural World Championship in 1973 and has been a cornerstone of the European Championship for many years. Historically a countrywide tarmac event, it's now run to the northeast of Poland and on gravel. To give us a little insight to what we can expect this weekend, here's Mikko Hirvonen.
So this is shakedown of Rally Poland, and it's very typical for the rally. There's lots of narrow, fast sections in the forest, and then you come to the open fields, where it continues to be very fast and flowing, and really nice, quite wide corners over the crests, with some big jumps as well. Unfortunately, some of the stages are very soft, so they tend to cut up quite badly, and there can be really big rocks digging from the ruts, which we don't know anything about. So second time through the stages, they can be quite rough.
The spectacular opening to the event highlighted the popularity of the sport in this part of the world, with spectators filling every corner of the Mikołajki Super Special stage, and the world's greatest drivers certainly didn't disappoint with a committed display around the challenging 2.5 kilometre circuit. Despite overheating problems, Sebastian Loeb took first blood in the championship race, a full second ahead of Mikko Hirvonen. But it was Petter Solberg who claimed top honours and soaked up the big crowd atmosphere, as only Petter Solberg can. The biggest cheer was for local hero Krzysztof Holowczyk driving for Stobart VK this weekend. The 1997 European champion is one of Poland's most famous drivers, and as a former winner of his home event, here he is to tell us a little bit more about the first day of Rally Poland.
First day is a 116 case. I think it's a really easy first stage for us. It's a grabówka. It's very technical, very fast. It's a nice stage. Second is a pianki. Last 7 kilometers is like in Finland. Very nice road. Third stage on the Friday is the longest stage on the rally. So I think it's for the drivers will be very hard because it will be big track, ground is very soft, and for sure will be the most important on the first day.
First up on day one then is the challenging 12-kilometre Grabówka stage. As Holowczyk mentioned, with heavy rain in recent days, it's expected this sandy surface could cut up a lot. First on the road then could be the best place to be, which is good news for Sebastian Loeb. Rally Poland is go. You can see the real character of this event here, how fast and flowing these stages are. And after Seb's dramatic accident in Greece, the Frenchman needs to regain the initiative in the championship race. But last night's overheating problems continue for the Frenchman. Mikko Hirvonen, fresh from his first win of the season, is brimming with confidence. The Finn is now just 7 points behind his rival, and that driver's title once again is back within his sights. Mikko normally goes well on new events and should enjoy these stages. He's on the attack right from the off and using every inch of the road here. Third on the road is Danny Sordo. The Spaniards failed to score drivers' points in 2 consecutive rallies, and the pressure's on to help Citroën reassert their authority in the Manufacturers' Championship. A lot of Ford's recent resurgence has been down to this man, Jari-Matti Latvala. With many of these roads similar to his home event in Finland, this rally should suit the 24-year-old too. Petter Solberg comes into stage 2 as the rally leader, but in his 2006 spec Citroën Zara, he'll struggle to match the works drivers for pace in these flat-out stages. It won't dampen the Norwegian's competitive spirit, though, and he's already attacking hard in Grabówka. With little loose gravel around, the sandy surface means Loeb doesn't have his usual road-sweeping problem, and it's looking like a strong start for the world champion. Just look at the thousands of fans lining the road here. Loeb is still worried about that engine, though, at the end of the stage.
Sebastian, you're just taking a look at the data in the car. Everything okay?
Overheating. I don't know.
Potential problems for Loeb then, and with road order tactics unlikely to be an issue due to this sandy surface, we should have a straight fight on an even playing field this weekend. And Hirvonen's really pushing here. Can he beat Loeb? Yes, half a second quicker, and that means he's narrowed the gap to the world champion to half a second too.
Oh, it's just so fantastic. It's so fast every place that I'm sure this is how close it's going to be whole weekend. It's going to be fantastic.
Mikko certainly enjoying himself. Early leader Petter Solberg, meanwhile, has slipped down to 5th, while Loeb and Hirvonen have resumed their duel at the front. The Frenchman has the upper hand at the moment. Welcome back to Rally Poland. Sebastian Loeb doesn't crash very often, but on the rare occasion that he does, there is a common theme developing, and it could be related to his knowledge of the stages. It seems that many of his incidents have happened on stages that are new to him, and in these examples, Loeb had no prior knowledge, and each one occurred on his first run through. Amazingly, 75% of his offs have been on brand new stages. So does the world champion think it's related to the way he makes his pace notes?
Maybe a good memory from the stages, so when it's another second or third time in the stage, I remember. But when it's the first time, you have to improvise more maybe and sometimes take more risk.
Here in Poland, every stage is new to the drivers, and the Frenchman is the first to admit he's not a fan of making new pace notes.
For sure, I prefer to go on stages that we are used to go. It's easier, less work in recce, and so a bit less pressure, because when you do some new notes, you have to be very concentrated, and you know in the recce that you have one mistake and it can be bad. With two passes, it's impossible to do it perfect. Maybe it can be a stone that you didn't see, maybe you don't have the time to look if you can cut a bit in the grass or not, because you are concentrated on the angle. First pass, okay, I go to check if every cut is okay. Then second pass, you control your lines, and then it's perfect. But when it's the first time, it's difficult to have perfect notes.
Loeb should be opting for caution then on this first run through the day one stages as he heads on to Pianki and Paprotki. The Frenchman currently leads by just half a second over his great rival Hirvonen, but he's lost some ground in the high-speed Pianki stage. He's slipped behind Mikko, although it's still incredibly tight. Just 0.3 of a second separate the two men, and Seb's fighting hard to respond in stage 4.
Sur droite à fond, sur gauche on prend tout bon, sur droite encore.
Oh, but that was a big impact. And Loeb is off the road. Something clearly broken on the car. Taking another look, he hits something on the edge of the road. The steering's broken and he's off. There's nothing he can do as he loses control of the car. Looking at it again, it's very difficult to spot anything at the edge of the road. The guilty party is a half-buried tree stump which must have been missing in their pace notes, and for the second consecutive rally, it's an early exit for Loeb. And what an impact this could have on the championship race. Hirvonen's now the clear leader and will be the huge favourite to claim another win. But has he made a note of that tree stump? Remember, he's had exactly the same experience of these stages as Loeb, just 2 recce passes. There is Loeb at the side of the road, but yes, Mikko's okay. It looks like he had that tree stump in his pace notes.
You're not meant to arrive first on the road. What happened?
Sebastian was off the road. It didn't look too bad, but he was off the road far. And you know, after that, I took it very, very steadily. I wasn't pushing at all. I didn't want to do the same mistake. So strange.
Strange indeed, Mikko. Once again, the pressure is firmly on Danny Sordo's shoulders to secure a good finish for Citroën and make sure they take some good points in the Manufacturers' Championship. Oh, but an overshoot for Sordo. He needs to calm down here. Unsurprisingly, following this mistake, he's slower than the Ford boys again. Clearly, the pressure is getting to him at the moment. Latvala is back to his gravity-defying best here, and Loeb's off could also enable Ford to make more gains in the Manufacturers' title race. If Jari-Matti can maintain his good form, it's looking good so far. He's fastest through Prapotki and is up to second following Loeb's exit. It's been a good start too for Evgeny Novikov. Rally Poland's the closest the Russian will get to racing on home soil. He's already up to 5th.
50.
And terrific commitment from the youngster over these crests. The fans are loving it.
Very short. Right 0 very short. Tension crest immediate left 1 very narrow.
Oh, but he's off. Way too fast over that one.
No. How many Ks to the start? Almost there. 3 corners. 3 corners.
And some nearby fans caught the action. He and co-driver Dale Moscat make it to the end of the stage, but it looks like they've done serious damage to the front right suspension. And despite some frantic roadside repairs, they're unable to continue. So the world champion is out once again, and the 4 boys are back out front, with Hirvonen 2.4 seconds ahead of his teammate and Sordo third. Further back, Sebastian Ogier, Henning Solberg and Matt Wilson round off the top 8. Back at the service park in Mikołajki, and once again, Loeb is trying to work out where it all went wrong.
Yeah, it happened that in the third stage of the day, the start of the stage, in a right-hander, it was a stump nearly on the road, just a bit in the sand on the side, and that I didn't see. I didn't have it in the notes. Danny didn't have it. Ogier didn't have it. No one knows about that, and I just hit a bit and broken the suspension.
So it was a problem with the notes then?
No, I see, no one has it in the notes. It was just a bit covered by sand. I think it's just a question of bad luck, I think.
Well, at least we have a tree stump inside the corner where he went off, so I think maybe he didn't have that in his notes, and he hit that one with the front wheel maybe, and then went off the road. You know, I just slowed down. I thought, okay, it can be very tricky, and it's a new rally, so you don't have all the rocks and tree stumps on your notes. So I just took it steady and made sure I just finished the stage.
So what an impact this seemingly innocuous tree stump could have had in the championship battle. We can compare Loeb's approach to the corner to Hirvanen's now. Sebastian's line here shown in red. You can see how far away from the edge of the road marked in white he is. And comparing that to Mikko's, who had the tree stump marked, he's much further to the left side of the road. The difference between winning and losing really can be just one pace note and just a few centimetres. So the world champion fails to finish the first day. Plenty for the drivers to talk about, and there's plenty more action to come. The first day continues after the break. So a dramatic opening loop of stages has seen the world champion retire, and the Fords are now tangled in a battle for the lead. The second pass of the 12-kilometre Grabovka is next for Mikko Hirvonen. And he is completely focused on the road ahead, as Loeb already found to his cost getting the lines perfect is crucially important here. Latvala has opted for a slightly lower suspension setting than his teammate, a bit of a risk if some ruts appear on the roads, but so far so good for the Finn. He's already beaten Mikko in stage 5 and on stage 6. He needs to beat that target time to move into the lead. No sign of the flying finish boards, and he's already slower. He's losing a fair amount of time to Mikko here. Yes, that really was an incredible effort from Hirvonen. Latvala now 9.6 seconds behind his teammate. Rally Poland really is serving up some terrific action. Full commitment here from Citroen's Danny Sordo. It looks incredibly quick, but Danny is off the pace of the Fords again through 5 and 6. Further back, Andreas Mikkelsen is looking strong in his privately entered Skoda. It's the Norwegian's first event in a World Rally car this season, and he's clearly relishing getting back to action. Andreas is currently running in a fantastic 4th. Norway's rallying superstar, Petter Solberg, is not far behind, though. Petter throwing his Zara over these jumps, and the 2003 world champion gets past his compatriot Mikkelsen on the second run through Pianki.
One right.
Hirvonen's incredible run through stage 6 saw him set an average speed of 129 kilometres an hour, so he's stretched out his lead over Latvala. Sordo's third, with a fairly big gap to the rest of the field, which is now led by Petter Solberg. Let's catch up with the lower runners. Henning Solberg had been struggling to find the right setup to match the conditions of this new rally this morning, but after changing his setup, he's got up to speed in the afternoon loop. He's already passed Sebastian Ogier and is now chasing his brother. With just a 1-point lead in the driver's standings, he'll be keen to catch him. Matt Wilson steadily building his confidence and is still close enough to Ogier to mount a challenge of the Frenchman's position. Mads Osberg has been struggling to find the best setup for his Subaru Impreza. A spin early in stage 4, a sign that he's not entirely at ease. The Norwegian is currently running down in 11th. Three-time Rally Poland winner Krzysztof Holowczyk is flying the Polish flag proudly in 10th in his Stobart VK Ford Focus. That despite a spin and a stall that cost him valuable time earlier in the day. Sebastian Ogier's in confident mood, having claimed a career-best second-place finish in Greece, but he's not quite got to grips with Poland's flat-out roads just yet. He was fortunate to get away with this stage 4 spin, and he remains in 7th for now, but after Novikov's off, he's the best of the Citroën juniors. Back to the front runners now, and the Polish fans are waiting for the day's final stage to start. Andreas Mikkelsen has been complaining of differential problems this afternoon. And there does seem to be something wrong here. He's got a very sick engine. And eventually, Mikkelsen has to admit defeat and pull over. A disappointing end to a terrific return to action for the 20-year-old. The star of the day, though, has undoubtedly been Mikko Hirvonen. The Finn has excelled on these stunning stages, and let's take a breath and watch how spectacular these roads are. Mikko has been setting some incredible speeds today. Looking at his telemetry here, you can get an idea of the amazing skill and bravery needed to attack on these Polish roads. A top speed well in excess of 170 kilometers an hour there. Breathtaking driving from Ford's number 1. The final stage is cleared without drama. He finishes 8.9 seconds ahead of his teammate. It's been a good day in the office for Ford's number 1.
Is it really what you expected at the end of day 1 to be in the lead?
Yes, it is. But of course I was expecting Sebastian to be here as well, but we still have quite a big fight with Sodo and Jari-Matti. I think they are pushing quite hard on this one. I took this one a little bit more steadier than the stage before, so we'll see how they do it.
Confident now tomorrow morning first on the road?
Yeah, I'm sure we're going to be fine.
The leaderboard after the opening day of Rally Poland is looking very promising for Ford. They've locked out the top 2 spots again, with Sordo just under half a minute behind Latvala. Then comes the Solberg brothers with Sebastian Ogier, Matthew Wilson and Conrad Rautenbach finishing off the top 8. Thousands of people have been meeting their heroes here in Rally Poland, and they've not been disappointed. It's been a dramatic opening day, and there's still plenty more action to come. Join us again after the break. Welcome back to Rally Poland, and so far the thousands of fans that have descended on Mikko Aiki haven't been disappointed. Here to give us a flavour of day 2 is local hero Krzysztof Holowczyk.
Second day is 149 kilometers. It's the longest day of the rally. I think the most important day. First stage is a 12 Ks. It looks like in Finland, but the ground is much softer. We will have some fantastic jumps on this stage. And I think the next 2 stages is very long, 30 Ks each other. And I think for us, those stages will be very important for the results.
The Denovo test gets us underway on the second leg then. Just 12 kilometres long, but as Krzysztof just mentioned, featuring some of the most spectacular roads of day 2. Rally leader Mikko Hirvonen is the first into the stage. We have chilly, damp conditions this morning, and Mikko begins with a lead of 8.9 seconds. As was the case yesterday, very quick in here, but also incredibly narrow. Mikko has made a pretty rapid getaway this morning. With Jari-Matti Latvala lining up second on the road, things are looking good for Ford again this weekend. Latvala knows his role now is to protect his teammates' position and ensure another maximum score for his team. He has Dani Sordo just over 28 seconds behind him, so we'll be carefully monitoring the Spaniards' times this morning. Latvala's 1.6 seconds slower than Mikko in stage 8. Sordo has the daunting task of applying as much pressure as he can on Ford's flying fins. Looking at Dani's telemetry on this blisteringly quick stage now.
Derecha 8 vistas, de tierra 7 en rasante, posible a fondo, adoquines.
Look at that, 197 kilometers an hour on gravel. He might be fast, but Danny is 2.2 seconds slower than Latvala. Starting over half a minute behind Sordo is Petter Solberg. He has older brother Henning just under 7 seconds behind. And Petter's pace is too hot for Henning to handle through here. The Stobart VK man is pushing hard, but he's 1.4 seconds slower through the 12 kilometers of stage 8. Sebastian Ogier beats both Solbergs in Danovo, though. The Citroën Junior driver is now just 8.1 seconds behind Henning. Little change on the leaderboard after the opening test of day 2. Then the top 3 continue to spread out. The Solbergs are now separated by 8.3 seconds. And Sebastian Ogier looks like he could get involved in that battle for 4th. Ogier's Citroën Junior team come to Poland on the back of their best result of the season in Greece. Sebastian finished 2nd. Novikov became the youngest driver to win a stage, and Konrad Rautenbach ended up 5th.
It was my first podium in the WRC, and it was very good for me and also for the team, because the start of the season was more difficult, and all the team is more confident for the rest of the season.
Greece, we showed our speed, and I won 4 stages, so this was the best moment for me for the moment.
But it hasn't always been plain sailing, as all 3 drivers have had difficult moments this season.
Immediate left 0, very short.
Tapping with the wheel is...
Portugal was a big disappointment in that. Obviously, we lost the car and that to the fire, but I think maybe Argentina was quite a low point for me as well. We, just come from Portugal, really needed a good result, and it just didn't work out for us.
Cyprus rally, because we had a lot of problems during all the rally, and we went off just 200 meters before the finish line, and yeah, it was sure my worst rally this season.
Come! I think the junior team will start this season in Greece. So what happened before, I will say I do prefer to forget, and I hope the next events are going to be quite good.
And after those fine performances in Greece, people are starting to sit up and take notice.
Novikov impressed me a bit. He's doing some really good time now since 2 or 3 rallies. He's always doing some very good times.
Seb Ogier is quite good too, but he had more pressure because we are looking at him a lot, and Rottenbach make a good effort.
Fortunately, these 3 drivers have an understanding boss.
I hope they are not going to destroy too many cars, but anyway, they are young. You have to learn, and the best way to learn in rallying, sometimes you have to go out of the road. This is it. It costs a lot, but you have to learn.
Back up to the stages, and with the next 2 both over 30 kilometers long, this is a critical point of the rally. Mikko Hirvonen's made a good start to the day with that time through stage 8. But in Gavliki, he's finding the hard-packed surface very slippery in places. He may lose some time to the chasing pack in here. Using virtual spectator here, we can check how he's comparing to his closest rivals through the first half of the stage. Approaching the 15-kilometer split time, it's Sordo who's way out in front. What a turnaround this could be. Latvala's closest to the Citroën man at the moment. But he's already 6.7 seconds down, and Hirvonen's even slower, 10 seconds off the pace at the midway point. It's not looking like a good stage for Mikko then, just when he was beginning to look in control of this rally. Despite his best efforts, this is not going to be a great time from Hirvonen. Mikko has left a line of more abrasive gravel that should provide more traction for the following cars. Latvala is the first to follow Mikko over the finish line. He's 6.6 seconds quicker. Hirvonen's lead is trimmed to just 3.9. Alarmingly for the 4 boys, Danny Sordo is still setting an impressive pace. He's definitely going to close up on the man in second. Yeah, 6.5 seconds quicker. He wasn't quite as fast through the second half of the stage, but a good effort nonetheless. Sordo causing some concern for the Fords then. He's now just under 24 seconds behind Latvala, with the two Fords at the front, only separated by 3.9. Moving straight onto the 30-kilometre Vid Mini now, and the pressure is building on the rally leader. It's a similar story in here for Hirvonen too. The surface is still proving very slippery.
Where do you feel the threat's coming from? Your teammate or Sordo?
Well, we are trying to get away from Sordo, but Jari-Matti can't slow down as long as Sordo is pushing, so it's them both. I just need to go flat out and you know, try to get away.
As Mikko says, Sordo is ensuring that the Ford drivers can't relax for a second, and Latvala's been forced to attack to hold the Spaniard at bay. Some incredible action again on this second day of Rally Poland. Jari-Matti giving it everything over these crests. He's 9/10 of a second quicker than his teammate. And Danny makes up more time on Latvala here. He's now just 16.5 seconds behind the man in second. The fight for fourth is intensifying meanwhile. Henning Solberg is on the move in Vid Mini, moving past his younger brother Petter, who's off the pace in here. Citroën Junior Sébastien Ogier, though, has also raised his game. He could make it past both Solberg brothers in one hit here. Yes, a terrific display of driving from the Frenchman again, and he storms up to fourth. Sordo, the other big mover this morning, he's almost halved the gap to Latvala, and the rally leader's advantage over his teammate is down to just 3 seconds. Further back, Ogier and Petter Solberg have swapped places, and Halovzic has begun to close on Matt Wilson. Thousands of fans have crammed into the service park in Mikołajki to greet their heroes as the crews make their way back for a break from this relentless action.
The first stage was okay, but the second one I took it a little bit steady. But then when I saw that Sordo is really taking time off, I started to came flat out, but I couldn't go any faster. And then the last stage, that was all I could give. I came absolutely flat out. So it's now when it's been raining, there's kind of a hard, compact mud on top of the road, and then when a few cars are going, it breaks, and then the grip is straight away better. So we've been struggling a bit with that now in the morning.
My priority is keep behind Danny behind. I don't want to make competition with Mikko. If I'm faster than him, then we are faster. But I'm not chasing him. That's not the target. The target is keep Danny behind.
Are you confident you can catch Jari-Matti this afternoon?
Confident, no. It's difficult, no, but of course I will try. I have more confidence than yesterday.
And the onus is on the Ford men to ensure that Danny Sordo is behind them at the end of the day. Rally leader Mikko Hirvonen starts and knows he needs to reassert his control. The roads are cleaner for him this second time through, and he's looking fast in Danovo. Let's concentrate now on that three-way fight at the front this afternoon. Latvala starts stage 11 just 3 seconds behind his teammate, and he can't match Mikko's pace. In fact, he's 7 seconds slower here, and now 10 seconds behind the leader. Sordo too struggles on the second run through. With the stages now rougher, he's slower than Mikko in stage 11. He's 1/10 of a second quicker than Latvala, but that still leaves him over 26 seconds behind the leader. So into stage 12. Remember, Latvala took over 6 seconds out of Hirvonen here this morning. Jari-Matti is trying very hard. He's being forced into some terrifying speeds to try and keep Sordo behind him. But once again, he can't match Hirvonen's pace. He drops to 10.7 behind Mikko, but it's not for the lack of trying.
I have a feeling that I've been driving like a madman. You know, I can't really get any faster. This is absolutely flat out.
Sordo, meanwhile, continues to push, but he just can't match the searing pace of the Fords. He's 5.6 seconds slower than Latvala, and it's now a distant 32.7 seconds behind the leader. And into the day's final stage, and Mikko is looking good to finish with a flourish. It's been a terrific performance from the Finn through this second loop, and under some pretty intense pressure. Latvala's focus has been to keep Sordo behind him, and it's a case of so far so good. He's slower than Mikko once again, the gap now 12 seconds, but the question is, can he maintain his lead over Danny? Sordo was lightning fast in the first run through this stage, but it seems the Spaniards decided that the points are more important. He's 4.5 seconds slower than Latvala, and ends the day 38.5 seconds behind Hirvonen. The battle for fourth, meanwhile, has continued to rage. In the afternoon, it's the Solberg's turn to make a charge. Henning closes up to 0.3 of a second behind Ogier by the end of stage 12.
Line til 5 venstre, 200. Hold høyre over lang krøn 80. Line til flat.
And Petter Solberg has clearly not given up on getting back into the position he held for much of day one. After some setup tweaks at service, Petter is flying in the afternoon. And on the day's final test, Petter takes 5th from his brother. But like many others, he's been driving on the edge in every centimetre of every stage.
I could get the speed, but the risk, you know, it's... Take a look at the inboard. It's too much over the limit to keep on doing that all the time, you know. I have to do something more to get some more speed out of, especially for the next rally.
With Petter on a fly, then the pressure is firmly on Ogier. The reigning junior world champion doesn't appear overawed at this fight for position with one of the stars of the sport. He does enough to hold off Petter, and by the end of the day holds an advantage of 7.4 seconds over the former world champion. Ogier's Citroën Junior teammate Evgeny Novikov has restarted under the Super Rally rules. He's still right on the limit though, and the young Russian has been setting some impressive times in these fast-flowing stages. He at least has the opportunity to score a couple of championship points for his team, despite running down in 11th. And despite his own lowly position of 13th on the leaderboard, Sebastian Loeb too is on course to collect the last manufacturer's point for Citroën. He's won 4 out of 6 stages today, but that day one off has clearly rattled the Frenchman.
Just trying to drive like I feel, to try to take again a good rhythm and to take the confidence again, because after the three mistakes it's difficult. So, but okay, at the moment it's going very well. The car is okay, and so I push hard.
It's a rare sight to not have Loeb in the top 8 with 1 day remaining. Ford are firmly in control. Hirvonen leads by 12 seconds, while the fading pace of Sordo leaves him more than 26 seconds behind Latvala. Ogier and the Solbergs are still locked together. So it's been a crazy, super fast day 2 for everyone on Rally Poland, and we have 90 kilometres and the continuing battle for the lead all still to come on day 3. Join us for that after the break. Welcome back to Rally Poland, where the fans are on their way to the first stages of day 3. They'll be cheering on local star Krzysztof Holowczyk, and here he is with some more details about the final day.
Day 3 is 87 kilometers. I think that this will be easy day, but we don't know exactly. First stage is Milky, 27 Ks, very fast stage, very nice. Tross is a stage for the big boys, for the really brave boys, because some place on the wood you go flat on the crest, there's a big jumps, and I think for the spectators will be fantastic. And the final of the day will be on the super stage. It will be fantastic final for the spectators, for us as well.
So the Ford boys are just 5 stages away from another impressive 1-2 finish. There are just 12 seconds between them though, and they have some tricky technical roads to get through on this final day. Mikko Hirvonen is away first. The Finn has loved every minute of this spectacular rally so far. More fast-flowing roads here this morning, and Ford's #1 resumes his quest for a second consecutive win. Jari-Matti Latvala is still pushing, keeping up a good pace to ensure Dani Sordo stays at arm's length. In the process of doing so, though, he closes the gap to his teammate to 9.5 seconds in stage 14. If Sordo wants to make up some time on the Fords, he's going to have to come up with something pretty special in here. Oh, but he's off the road. He completely misjudged that junction, and this is going to cost the Spaniard valuable time. He's losing ground to Ford's Finns with every passing second. He lost over 13 there. That is a frustrating way to start day 3.
I had in the page note braking in the boss panel, no, and the boss panel is not in the stage, and I continued flat out, and I ride to the hairpin and I go straight.
Pace notes again having an impact on the rally. In the fight for 4th, meanwhile, Sébastien Ogier is looking to reassert his advantage. With his first fastest time of the weekend in stage 14, he pulls away from the Solbergs. And Petter has some problems in the first run through Muki. His engine is leaking oil, and it's even spraying up on his windscreen.
16. 6 left tightens. I'll clean the window.
It's an unwelcome distraction at such high speeds and will not help him hold off his brother, who started the morning just 1.3 seconds behind.
Petter, what is the problem? There's oil leaking out of the engine.
The last 15 kilometers I couldn't see anything, nothing. So,
A possible chance then for Henning Solberg to take advantage of his brother's problems. Fast approaching the stage 14 finish boards, and this is looking very promising for the Norwegian. Yes, Henning is back up to 5th. He's now 11.2 seconds ahead of his brother. Further back, the super rallying Evgeny Novikov has broken into the top 10.
Left 0, crest middle, 40.
Whoa, but the Russian is still driving over the limit at times. He was very fortunate not to roll, but somehow he got away with that. The 18-year-old certainly trying hard out there this morning. The rally leader is also having fun. Hirvonen still looking spectacular out front. Latvala beat his teammate again in 15, but only by 1/10 of a second. Following Sordo's overshoot, there's little pressure on the Fords. Jari-Matti's now nearly a minute ahead of Danny. Henning Solberg won stage 15, but he's still almost 17 behind Ogier. Just 2 more long stages to run before a return to the Mikko Aiki Super Special, and it's been a good day so far for Sébastien Ogier in his defence of 4th place. Oh, but this doesn't sound good. Barely 2 kilometres into the stage, and Sébastien suddenly experiencing a dramatic loss in engine power. The rally is over for Sébastien and co-driver Julien Ingracia. Henning Solberg's pursuit of 4th has suddenly become a whole lot easier. The Norwegian gratefully replaces Ogier. Everyone behind Sébastien has gained a position, and after a consistent and controlled drive, Matthew Wilson is up to 6th. Further back, Evgeny Novikov has battled his way back to 9th. Manufacturer points his only aim now.
50 long, 200 straight. We're going to stop on this straight. There's a message from the team. Stop on the straight. Make sure you stop before the yellow board. Pull over, pull over.
Well, what's going on here? Evgeny's been asked to pull over by the team. This can only be to let Loeb pass for an extra point. Team orders clearly coming into play, and Conrad Rautenbach is the next to receive them.
Okay, find some way to pull in. Down there.
Co-driver Daniel Barrett giving the order. And it's all for the benefit of this man. After his first day off, Loeb's worked his way up to 11th. With Ogier's off, he was promoted to 10th. And with Novikov and Rautenbach slowing, that amazingly promotes him into the points. So no movement at the top of the standings. The Fords keeping Sordo in check. Henning's promoted to 4th. And there's a new name at the bottom of the leaderboard. Well, that was some serious strategy from Citroën. Just the 2.5 kilometre Mikko Aiki Super Special to run now. The Ford team are ready and waiting to start the celebrations, and the drivers are making their final preparations. It was a brave performance from Danny Sordo yesterday that saw him pressurise the Ford drivers in some seriously fast stages. But the championship comes first. A decent drive from Danny, who claims his 4th podium finish of the season. The The crowds have packed the grandstand and they're enjoying a formation finish from Ford's Fins in the sunshine. It's been a great weekend driving from both Ford men. Matti Latvala on course to claim his third consecutive podium spot. Oh, but he's clipped that barrel and into the barrier. What on earth happened there? Disbelief in the Ford camp. Malcolm saying there he's broken the steering. It was a heavy collision, but can he get the car moving when he's so agonisingly close to the finish line? The team completely helpless as they watch the drama unfold in front of them. Team boss Malcolm Wilson can't believe what he's seeing here. What a devastating end to the event. Well, this was all happening. Mikko, at least, is finishing the stage. He's passed his stranded teammate there. He can't believe it either, but Mikko has won the rally. Latvala's late crash has taken the shine off his victory somewhat, but it's the 9th of Hirvonen's career, and he moves into the championship lead for the first time this season. A stunning effort from Mikko, but like everyone else, there is disbelief at this late drama.
That's unbelievable, but I just can't see. I can't believe what I'm seeing now. But okay, fantastic for us. But it's I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say.
Mikko doesn't know what to say, and his teammate is completely distraught.
This is the biggest mistake. I have disappointed the whole Ford group, whole motor Ford company. We were going to make 1-2, and this disappointment, I can't benefit anyhow for the team, and I understand really if they don't want me to carry on with the team. I really understand it.
So some serious thinking to do for team boss Malcolm Wilson. Again, his precociously talented driver Latvala has let him down at the worst possible time. What incredible drama to finish the rally. Mikko wins by over a minute, with Henning Solberg claiming the final podium spot. And with those positions converted to points, how crucial those two could be for Loeb. It's not prevented Sebastian from losing the championship lead, but all Ford can think about is what's been lost.
There's been a lot of costly ones, but as you can imagine, this is definitely the costliest. It put us within, you know, if we'd had the result that we were all expecting, it would have put us within striking distance. It's made that job a bit more difficult, but, you know, we've come back from being basically having no chance of the championship before Sardinia to being able to mount a challenge again. So let's just see. Obviously, a lot of thinking to do, but just got to. Honestly, the big thing is that Mikko has just done such a fantastic professional job, and we've got to savour that moment because it's a special moment for Mikko, and you know, he deserves that moment of glory.
So for the first time in 2009, we have a different leader in the Drivers' Championship, but Hirvonen's lead is now 1 point instead of 2 after Latvala's late retirement, while Sordo has consolidated his 3rd place. And in the Manufacturers' Championship, what could have been another 18-point maximum score for Ford dwindles to 10. They've actually lost ground to Citroën, who've increased their lead by 2 to 17 points. Mikko Hirvonen stands on the top step of the podium for the 2nd consecutive rally, but it's Danny Sordo alongside him and Henning Solberg in a surprise 3rd. So what a finale to a frenetic weekend after some of the fastest speeds ever seen in the World Championship and drama throughout. Poland's return to the WRC will live long in the memory, and with Hirvonen's home rally next, this title race has reached a fascinating juncture. But for now, from Mikko Aiki, it's goodbye.
This time on Street Customs Berlin.
We have a problem. The shop is perfect.